"Will you kill my stepdad for me?" asked a 7-year-old boy as he walked into a Mafia boss's restaurant with 7 crumpled dollar bills. The entire restaurant went dead silent. Richard, the boss of the family, was the first to move. He stood from the corner table and came down to the boy's level. "What's your name, son?" "Tyler," the boy whispered. "Tyler, where did you get these bruises?" "My stepdad beats me and my mom when he drinks, but tonight was real bad." "Where does this stepdad live?" Richard asked, voice going quiet. "The blue trailer at the end of Maple Road, about 2 miles from here." Everyone in Richard's crew knew that trailer park. Meth dealers, gunshots, cops only went in pairs. One of Richard's men, Tank, pushed off the wall. "Let's go handle this right now." "Wait," Richard said. He looked around the room, then at the boy's fistful of money. "The boy asked us to kill someone for 7. He stood up slowly. "That means this kid is so desperate he walked 2 miles in the dark to find killers." The capos exchanged hard looks. "Cops won't help," Razor muttered. "They never do in domestic cases until someone's dead." "Then we handle it our way," Snake said, pulling a knife halfway from his belt before Richard's eyes cut over to him. Tyler's eyes went wide with fear and hope at the same time. Richard made a decision. "Call Doc." Doc wasn't a doctor. He was their guy, who used to be a paramedic before he got caught stealing meds. He checked Tyler over right there in the private dining room. His face went pale. "This kid has broken ribs," Doc said. "Maybe internal bleeding, too." Curses and threats erupted around the table. Hardman wanted blood. "Please help my mom," Tyler begged. "He said he's going to kill her tonight." That's when they heard sirens. Everyone tensed. Sirens meant trouble for men with records. But the sound kept going past the restaurant, heading toward Maple Road. Richard's phone rang. He answered. His face went dark. "There's been a shooting at the trailer park." Tyler collapsed to his knees. No, my mom." Richard looked at his men. "We're moving now." They broke every house rule in one sweep. Chairs scraped, suits grabbed coats, earpieces went in. Instead of motorcycles, black sedans and SUVs roared to life in the alley. They didn't wait on traffic laws getting to Maple Road. Tyler rode with Richard, clutching his $7 with one hand and the seatbelt with the other. The trailer park was swarmed with police cars and ambulances. Richard's vehicles pulled up in formation, doors opening in sync. A few cops reached for their weapons when they saw familiar faces from files, not patches, but the energy was the same. This could go ugly fast. "Sheriff Johnson," Richard called, hands visible. "We're here for the boy's mother." The sheriff stepped forward, assessing the line of suited men behind Richard. "Richard, you can't be here right now." "The boy's mother is in there," Richard said. "She's alive," the sheriff answered quickly, glancing at Tyler. "But her husband isn't." They looked over in time to see Tyler's stepdad being loaded into an ambulance in handcuffs, bleeding from a gunshot wound. "Here's what happened while the boy was gone," Johnson said briskly. The stepdad got even drunker and attacked the mother with a baseball bat. A neighbor, a Vietnam veteran, heard the screaming and came over with a pistol. He shot the stepdad in the shoulder when he wouldn't stop beating the woman. Doc pushed forward with a small kit. "Let me see the mother." "Paramedics have her," Johnson said. "She's banged up but conscious." Another car rolled up, child services. A social worker stepped out, already scanning for the kid. "We're taking the child into foster care immediately," she said. Tyler's head snapped up. "No!" "The mother is being detained for questioning," an officer added. "She fought back and stabbed her husband with a kitchen knife." Tyler screamed, "Don't take my mom away." The social worker reached for him. Richard stepped between them. "Back off." "Sir, I'll have you arrested for interference," she snapped. "Try it," Richard said. In a heartbeat, 15 suited men formed a wall around Tyler. Cops shifted. Hands edged toward holsters. The air thinned to a fuse, waiting for a spark. Sheriff Johnson looked from the social worker to the line of men and made a fast calculation. "A war here helped no one." He raised both hands. "Everybody calm down. Give me 5 minutes. Let me make some calls." Tyler shook, staring at the ambulance, at the trailer, at the police tape. Richard lowered his voice. "You're not leaving with strangers tonight." 10 minutes later, a sedan pulled up. A woman in scrubs stepped out, Richard's wife. She was a nurse at the local hospital, spotless record and, not by accident, a certified emergency foster parent. "I'll take custody of Tyler tonight," she said to the social worker, holding up her paperwork. "That's highly irregular," the social worker said, thrown off. It's legal, Richard's wife said evenly. Check your rules. While they wrestled the forms, Richard walked over to the shaken Vietnam veteran, the neighbor who'd fired. Thank you for saving that woman, Richard said. The old man's hands still trembled. I couldn't let him kill her in front of that boy. You need a lawyer? Richard asked. Can't afford one, the veteran admitted. You can now. Richard handed him a card. Tell him the family is paying. Back at the cruisers, officers finished with Erin's statement. Turned out she hadn't actually stabbed her husband. She'd grabbed the knife and threatened him, but she had nowhere to go and no money for a motel. Richard's guys collected $500 in minutes. They arranged a clean motel and posted 2 men outside the door. Then another problem landed. The hospital called. The stepdad's wound wasn't life-threatening. He'd be released on bail in the morning. He'd already been heard threatening to finish what he started. The prosecutor says they can't hold him longer without more evidence, Johnson told Richard, jaw tight. Tyler tugged at Richard's sleeve. His voice was small but steady. I recorded him. Everyone turned to stare. Tyler pulled an old phone from his pocket. My real dad gave me this before he died. He told me to record when bad things happen. On that phone were 17 videos of the stepdad beating Tyler and his mother. Dates going back 6 months. Clear audio, clear visuals. Child abuse. Domestic violence. The assistant prosecutor on scene watched 2 clips and went white. This changes everything. Within an hour, charges multiplied. The stepdad was hit with 37 counts. Bail, $500,000. He wasn't going anywhere. But the night wasn't finished. The next day, 3 men showed up at the motel looking for revenge. Stepdad's brothers, all in the meth trade, all carrying. They wanted Tyler and his mom for putting their brother in a cage. They found something else. 15 suited men waiting in a quiet line across the lot. No shots were fired. Words were exchanged, few of them polite. 3 guns were placed on the asphalt by hands that didn't want to break. 3 brothers understood math for the first time. They got back in their car and drove out of town. No one saw them again. Back at the courthouse, the stepdad took a deal. 8 years. After his brothers relocated, he understood the cost of looking in the wrong direction. The city gave the Vietnam veteran a medal. The family paid his lawyer. No charges stuck to him. Tyler and his mom moved into a new apartment, and the family made sure the building stayed quiet. Any man who even looked twice at them got a knock on his door and a short lesson. Tyler kept those $7. Years later, when Richard asked why, Tyler said, "Those $7 were worth more than money. They bought me an army of guardian angels who looked like demons." Richard framed the $7 in his private dining room. The family still meets there every Thursday night. And if a child ever walks in asking for help, they remember Tyler and the night they chose to be protectors instead of monsters. Sometimes the most dangerous men make the best shields, because they understand violence and know exactly when not to use it. Tyler's grown now, with kids of his own. He still visits Richard every week, not because he needs protection, but because family isn't always blood. Sometimes family is 15 dangerous men who decided to save you instead of becoming what you asked them to be.